to make a difference in someone's life? How can people see Christ through me? And so that's real important to me. And then also through my parents, which is kind of why I wore this necklace, but my parents taught me, there is a time and a place where we have a lot going on, we're raising our children, and we really need help from the community. And there is a time in our lives we're all called to serve. There's a time we can give back. And what's really, really fun in the lives of my husband and myself is it's now our time to serve. And so our kids are grown up. I've got 3 children. They're married. Got 6 grandkids. And they are another reason that I'm so committed to what's going on in Junction City right now, because almost all of them live here and the other 2 live in Kansas City. Am I doing okay with this
Yes,
microphone?
yes, great.
Okay, very good. All right. So anyway, so it's our time to give back, and I want to add one more thing. I was talking about relationships with Beth Greenwood and Angie and my family, and I want to mention about Phyllis. So we were in Henderson, Kentucky, and we were Phyllis Fitzgerald. Raise your hand, Phyllis. We were in Kentucky, planting a church there, and I kept watching Phyllis live on Facebook all the time, and she was cleaning up Junction City. And I thought, what is this Phyllis doing cleaning up Junction City? And it kept going year after year after year. And I thought, what's she doing? And one person was just cleaning up Junction City. And when I got back to Junction City, normally, my husband's a pastor, normally we have one church, and I'm very involved in one church as a pastor's wife, and just I got lots of energy and I like to use it somewhere, but we didn't have one church. He became the director of missions and we had 20 churches that we went to. So I said, gee whiz, where can I go? Nathan, where can I go? He says, well, you go meet Craig Bender. He's the military affairs guy. Craig Bender says, hey, you go meet Todd Godfrey down there at Godfrey Shooting Range. So I got on my bicycle and my shorts and drove down there. And he says, hey, you go meet Teresa Bramlage with the R2B4 Bramlage Foundation, et cetera, et cetera. Relationships. We're talking about relationships. And so Phyllis was an inspiration to me because I thought, you know what? I can do something. What can I do? So I simply was looking for a place to serve. And I thought, I'm going to go where doors open. I'm just going to go like a water going through something, pipes or something. I'm going to go where doors open. Well, lo and behold, they opened up with downtown revitalization. So am I keeping you guys awake with what I'm saying?
Of course.
Okay, very good. Okay, so in the meantime, my husband is running for city commission, and we've been gone to Kentucky for 5 years, and we were thinking, we're gone. What's going on in Junction City? Let's have some meetings. Let's meet with different people. Well, we found out that, gee whiz, it'd be kind of nice to have some change in downtown Junction City. I had no idea where this was going to go. And then I went to the retreat. There was a retreat in Kansas City, and there's a man named Peter Kageyama who was supposed to be a speaker. My husband had made city commissioner by then, and there was supposed to be a speaker, but there was a blizzard, and he wasn't there, but I was in the hotel room. I didn't know I could go down to the conference, so I was in the hotel room, and I read a book, and it was called Love Where You Live. The emotional infrastructure of places. Love where you live. So there I was up in that little room, and I read it once, and I read it again, and I read it again, and I underlined it, I highlighted it. I thought, love where you live, and have others love where you live. And so all these little things, all these little dots got connected, and the doors opened up, and lo and behold, we started downtown revitalization. There'd already been a group going for a couple of years, and then of course COVID came, and we started meeting again. And that's kind of how I got to where I am now. And I could ramble on forever and ever, so I gotta make sure I watch that half-hour time frame or less, or if you start falling asleep. But so anyway, so accidentally we found something. I was Googling, see, I got my sweater on. This was a Christmas present from my daughter, downtown Junction City, downtown revitalization. We weren't Main Street yet. And I was Googling downtown revitalization. What can you do to make your downtown a better place? I came across something called Main Street. Now, had anybody ever heard of the Main Street organization?
I've heard of it.
You have? Okay. Well, I was Googling it, and it's actually a national organization called Main Street America. There's 2,000 cities, and then in Kansas at the time, there were 25 cities. It was open from 1985 to 2012. Budget got cut, Main Street got cut, brought back again in 2019. And we applied in 2020, and we got accepted in 2021. We got accepted in the Main Street program. So what does that mean? Does it mean we get lots of money for downtown revitalization? No. What it means is we get lots of networking, lots of resources, and a program that works. And so just briefly, I'll kind of give you a little rundown, and you can go back to your cities if it's something you want to pursue. But now when we got accepted, we went from 25 cities to 28 cities. Now there's 35 Main Street cities in Kansas, but we're required to have a paid executive director downtown. By the way, I am the development director. We actually have a paid executive director. Her name is Michaela Joyce. I'm the development director. I probably work about 20 to 50 hours a week as a volunteer. They didn't quite know where to put me. I was on the board, but the board rotates off. I think they wanted to kind of keep me on, so they gave me a name. And so my name is development director, but really I'll do anything that it takes to make a difference in the life of Junction City. So, and the fun thing is, I'm going on a tangent here. Let me go back to where I was. So we have a paid executive director, and we have to follow the 4-point approach: promotion, design, organization, and economic vitality. And that is why these cities that are Main Street cities, and quite often if you find a downtown that you like, you should Google it and see, is it a Main Street city? It's an incredible program. And so we got accepted in the program. We raised almost $500,000 in 2 months to be spent in pledges over 3 to 5 years. And it united our community, because for 2 months we just went knocking on doors. Would you like to be a part of something we don't know very much about? Would you like to be part of it? We were just simply learning. And that is what has now happened. So we were accepted into the program in March of last year. Governor Kelly made the announcement in Atchison, Kansas. And originally I was saying, we're just making it up as we go because we're all learning together. And now we're getting a little bit more organized. But anyway, so I think before I ramble on about Main Street, I told you a little bit about myself, and I'm talking about Main Street, but I think I'd like to take questions from the floor, because I wonder, instead of me just rambling, because I truly could ramble for 17 hours. I love what's happening downtown. I love it. But I think I'd rather you ask questions in case you've got something in particular on your mind, or I can ramble some more.
Well, what is your most recent project that you're working on?
Well, I'll tell you what, right now, the 10 days of Christmas is happening. And so Phyllis Fitzgerald is going to pass out the 10 days of Christmas. And what we've done is we've compiled all the stuff that's going on in downtown Junction City. Not all the stuff that Main Street is doing, just all the stuff that's going on in downtown Junction City. If you're from here, I invite you to come and check it out. There's 10 days of tons and tons of stuff. Or if you're from another city, please come and visit. You can come, by the way, I mentioned 10 Days of Christmas. You can come to the Wine and Wassail Walk. And so on November 26th from 5:30 to 8:30, you can, I think it's about $40, and you get a little glass. And you go to about 12 different businesses, and you can choose a little white wine or a little red wine, and they're all going to have some wassail in there, and they're going to have some hors d'oeuvres and so on. And you can just go around, and of course it's fun, it's fellowship, and it's getting into our businesses and see. Because once we've got these businesses opening up, we want them to stay open. We want people shopping local, shopping small. We want people visiting from other places and getting involved. So that's the one thing. And the super exciting thing, well, I'm super excited about it, what do you call it? Over my head into it right now. Main Street Market. So we're going to have a market downtown next year every Saturday morning from 8:30 to 1:30 from May 6th until the October 28th. And it will be in addition to the farmers market that's at the J.C. Nass parking lot. We want that to be successful. But across from the fire department in Junction City, there'll be the farmers market. Behind the Central National Bank will be the Makers Market. In the middle will be some music. And by the way, I'm always driving downtown, and I just passed by that Makers Market parking lot that the Central National Bank just redid. And if you'll notice, when you pass by, if you happen to be driving around in our downtown, they're redoing the roof because we're trying to put a community mural over there by the Next Step Dance Studio. But anyway, we don't want a downtown to be isolated, an island of its own, a silo. We want it to be the heart and soul of our community. We want to tie into everything, because I don't just care about Junction City downtown. I care about Junction City, Geary County, and partnering with any other city anywhere to say, this is a great program. If you want to know something about it, I will be glad to share it. But if you think of the rodeo that comes to town, well, maybe a week or two before the rodeo, they're going to come downtown and do some kind of rodeo thing, maybe for special needs, you know. And if you think about the Rayford Stadium where they have baseball, Cecil Aska is a gentleman involved, and all the college baseball players that come in, well, they're going to come down on Father's Day for it's going to be a sports theme, and they're going to have pitching lessons and that kind of thing to point towards the Mid-Plains All-Star Tournament or something like that. So I'm trying to get every organization in Junction City in Erie County who wants to set up something downtown to point towards their organization, to point towards their, I'm a physical therapist and I always think of the heart and arteries and vessels, and it goes out and it comes back and there is our downtown right there. So but it just ties everything together and brings our community together and just makes our relationships super strong. Did that answer? So I could go, yes, Phyllis.
Can you share about the JCs?
Oh, yes, I can, yeah. So has anybody seen two JC statues in downtown Junction City? One is in Heritage Park, it's the Veterans theme, and one is if you go out the door and turn right about maybe 100 feet, you'll see that it's like an orange-looking JC statue, and it's an agricultural theme. So we got a grant, and we're gonna have 10 JC statues downtown, and the JCs are gonna be a canvas. And every statue is going to be different, and it's going to tell the story of Junction City. And so, Phyllis, do you want to comment on the one with the
Big Red One?
Yes,
So, I'm the executive director of the Society of the 1st Infantry Division of Fort Riley, retired warrant officer. My husband and I went to Desert Storm with the Big Red One, and those JCs that are going to be going downtown, there's one that's going to be dedicated to the 1st Infantry Division. So, where I work, we're a 501c, but we're gonna sponsor that and help come up with it to be unveiled sometime next year. So we're excited about it.
So there's going to be 10 different themes: Big Red One, veterans, agriculture. There's going to be the origin of Junction City at Central National Bank on February 9th at 4 p.m. There is going to be the railroad and cattle drive at 6th and Franklin, and there's on Martin Luther King. I don't know. Do you know Kevin Wilmot? He's he's an Academy Award-winning filmmaker from Junction City, professor at KU, but he has put a film together on our 9th Street district, which has definitely a historical past to it. And so it turns out I called Kevin up and said, hey Kevin, we're gonna have a 9th Street district statue, and we're trying to see if somebody would help us compile the information. We're gonna have a muralist paint it based on your information. Lo and behold, the relationships, his son William is a professional muralist in Kansas City. So his son William will be painting our JC statue on the 9th Street district at 9th and Washington. And when do we unveil it? Well, there's a big Martin Luther King event at the Opera House on January 16th from 10 to noon. And at noon, normally they walk around the block, around the Opera House block, and instead they're going to walk to the JC statue at 9th and Washington Street. And Justin Aaron, he's on The Voice right now. He's been asked to sing. So we'll march to, and every statue is unveiled with an event, so et cetera, et cetera. So that's the JC statues.
Your third one is gonna be during this, isn't it?
Thank you so much. Yes, thank you. So the third statue is going to be in your Christmas handout. There's going to be a Christmas market on December 3rd. And the Christmas market is the beacon towards the Main Street market every Saturday next summer. But we're going to have the JC statue unveiled at the corner of 8th and Jefferson, and nothing ever goes perfectly according to plan. It was supposed to be the Opera House JC statue. There's questions about trees and so on, so we'll just pause that. Then we're going to put it at the Main Street Market, but I think they're going to repave it, so we can't seat it onto a base, but we have a temporary base, and we're just going to take that JC statue with us, and if I had it right now, it'd be in the room with me. And that theme will be diversity, et cetera, on the statues.
That's great.
Yeah. Okay.
Creative talents with gingerbread.
So part of the 10 days of Christmas, we're going to have a gingerbread contest. Phyllis kind of initiated that last year. They put the display in the Bartell House. This year, not everything, it's all over the town, but this particular one is going to be in the municipal building. So there will be snowball events going on, fake snowballs in the municipal building. There will be the gingerbread contest where you can bring it in, make gingerbread houses with your grandkids.
And we're going to have these big Christmas cards that if you're you come in, you can sign them, and we're going to send them off to Europe to the 2nd Brigade soldiers. They're going to post them in their dining halls and everything. So, and at some point I'll start walking around town in businesses for cards to sign. But that day on Saturday, December 3rd, we'll have tables where people can sign cards.
Is it getting time to wind down now?
Yes.
I want to wind down just how you can serve. So you can see there's a lot going on. If you want something to do, all you have to do is give me a call, and I appreciate it.
Terry.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Oh.
So, yes,
I enjoy dancing a lot. What did you say about Next Step Dance Studio?
yes.
What kind of dance?
There's instructions there. It's actually a professional dance studio, but on the building there'll be a mural. Yeah.
Oh,
but
okay.
Next Step is a dance studio. Clarabelle's is a dance studio. Yes.
Okay.
So is the
So-
Makers Market gonna be like crafts and stuff?
Yes, it is. Mhm. Yes. And if you go to junctioncitymainstreet.org, it's now live, and you can get more information. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Does
Anything else?
anybody has any question for Terry?
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much,
you.
Terry.
Yeah.
I would like, in behalf of the Women Lions, I would like to give a little appreciation certificate for being here today. I really enjoy it. She's a great storyteller. She's amazing. Thank you so much. She's so, let's do a picture here.
Oh, I'm gonna hug you.
Yes.
Okay, we'll have a huggy picture then.
Oh, wait,
Yeah, the
wait,
one
wait.
with the certificate.
We have to do the, important part. Thank you so much.
And then-
Thank you, Terry.
She sounds like a lion. She's so enthusiastic. She's doing a lot of work. It's just like lions do. That's amazing. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Recording in progress.
Okay, now I would like to invite our first Vice Governor, Caroline Arthur, to introduce our next keynote speaker, PID Cindy Gregg. Go ahead, Caroline.
I want to make sure, can you hear us, Cindy?
Arena, can you move there and help Lady send a text?
Can you hear us now? She's looking.
Did you send her a text asking her?
Oh, you sent her a text and I'll introduce her.
We had lots of projects out of that.
Really?
Don't you have the mute? Okay.
I love technology. I just love technology.
Yes, I'm gonna answer some questions after.
Yeah, she's here now. Okay.
Okay, great. Today, it is my honor and privilege to introduce Cindy Gregg, a past international director for Lions Club International. She is from Rost Straver Township, Pennsylvania. Was that close?
You're not getting through.
She's looking kind of up.
Mm-hmm. She was elected to serve a 2-year term as director of Lions Club International at the association's 96th International Convention that was held in Hamburg, Germany in 2013. Past director Gregg is a retired music teacher, choir director, and organist. She's a member of the Ross Traver Township Lions Club since 2000. She has held many offices within the association, including president, district governor, council chairperson, district MERL coordinator, district Leo advisor, and district LCIF coordinator. Yes.
Recording in progress.
She also served as the MD Leadership Committee and was an area GAT leader for Pennsylvania, Virginia, and West Virginia. And while on the board, Lion, Cindy was chairperson of the Family and Women's Action Committee. Yes. She has been a presenter and moderator for various forums, conventions, and training events. She is a certified instructor and was a DGE seminar leader for 5 years, and was proud to be invited to teach at the Faculty Development Institute in Ottawa this past September. Presently, she is serving as chairperson of the Lions Diabetes Board of Allegheny and Westmoreland Counties, and has served on the USA-Canada Lions Leadership Forum Committee in several different capacities. In recognition of her service to the association, she has received numerous awards, including the Club Excellence Award, 3 Presidential Leadership Medals, 7 Presidential Medals, several International President Certificates of Appreciation, the Certified Guiding Lions Medal, the Joseph Robluski, Carl Shoemaker, and Ross DeMarco Fellowships, and the Ambassador of Goodwill, the highest award in Lionism. She is also a Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow and a Second Century Ambassador. Past Director Greg and her husband Tom, also a Lion, past District Governor, an MD, GST, and Progressive Melvin Jones Fellow, have a son and a daughter, both of whom are Lions and Melvin Jones Fellows. And they have a grandson and a new granddaughter. Thank you.
Hello, PID. Cindy, can you hear us?
It's echoing.
I can, it's intermittent, but hopefully you'll be able to hear me.
You can hear us so well. Everybody can say hello to PID Cindy from Kansas. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yeah, and thank you so
I
much
hope that
again.
you're going to be able to hear me as I talk because
Yes,
I've been
it's
having a lot
perfect.
of
You can hear
audio
you
problems
perfectly.
here. And I'm sorry that I wasn't able to hear the previous speaker because she seemed to be very animated. But I am honored to be invited
the
to
owl
speak
on.
to you today on ways in which we can support and inspire women to become leaders in our great association. However, before we can do that, we need to understand the history of women in Lionism.
So delayed.
I work at home and that happens maybe like happens every.
I'll make it raise this up.
Recording in progress.
Regarding the issue of allowing women to be granted membership. After all, Dr. Woods argued that several women had been accepted as Lions in the beginning. And since he originally founded this group a few years prior to the convention in 1917, he felt that the association should restore the option of extending membership to this important group. Unfortunately, Melvin Jones and a sufficient number of delegates felt otherwise, and a constitutional amendment to restore Lions membership to women was defeated. Because of this disagreement, Dr. Woods actually resigned. Dr. Woods actually resigned as a Lion, and the decision to allow women to join was
Sorry.
Connecting again.
washed for death. Amelia Earhart, an honorary. Sorry, what was that? 10 years
Recording
later,
stopped.
Amelia Earhart, an honorary member of the New York City Lions Club, addressed the Lions Club's International Convention in Mexico City after being the first person to fly nonstop from Los Angeles to Mexico City. Likewise, following an earthquake that struck during the Kona Lions Club charter, the members voted to welcome Madame Pele, the goddess of fire, volcanoes, and the creator of the Hawaiian Islands, as its member, giving them an excuse to proclaim themselves as the first club in Lions history to accept a woman member. But as we know, women weren't formally welcomed as Lions members until 1987. Now, some might argue that our Lioness program that was developed in North Carolina in 1975 was for women. Unfortunately, its main purpose was to support the all-male clubs. And while women often served alongside their husbands and provided outstanding service themselves, they still weren't considered Lion members, even though they sometimes provided far more service than their sponsoring all Lions clubs. In some, I'm sorry, what's happening? Lioness were sometimes providing combined service projects and sponsoring all male Lions clubs, who in some cases were far more interested in their own social activities. Sometimes too, during were often expected to
The Wi-Fi here is so weak. You have done many conventions like that, never happened like that. That's the first time, I promise. I'll make sure next time will never happen like that. I'll bring somebody who work with me.
Recording in
Make
progress.
sure that
international president, why we couldn't become Lions. And the tide started to turn. So it was at the 68th
Recording
International
stopped.
Convention in Taipei in 1987, due to the ever-growing concerns over various lawsuits affecting some of the other nonprofit organizations. Lions Clubs International made history as the first service organization to accept female members into its ranks, welcomed or accepted by all of the men's clubs throughout the world. Some clubs lost members, and a few clubs even decided to submit their charters. Even today, we still have a few all-male strongholds, although most men finally admit that women helped revitalize and in some cases even save their clubs. Today, women are being recognized throughout the world as outstanding leaders of corporations, governments, and yes, even Lions International. But it hasn't been easy. 4 years after women were accepted as Lions, Louise Colombani from France was elected as the first female district governor. And then in 1999, Nilufar Bakhtiar from Pakistan became our first female international director. Although she faced many challenges during her 2 years on the board, including such embarrassing things as not having a restroom for her to use. But she paved the way for future female leaders. And of course, we were ecstatic when Gudrun Ingvadottir, who likes to say she was the first president from Iceland, was sworn in as our international president in 2018. And we're looking forward to next year in Boston, when Dr. Patty Hill will become our next international president. We have come a long way. Besides these milestone efforts, there's a growing number of women who are now accepting and serving in various leadership roles as committee chairs, club officers, zone and region chair people, vice governors, district governors, council chairpersons, global membership, leadership, and service team coordinators, as well as international directors. And of course, your own international director, Deb Wimberling, is chairing one of my former committees, District and Club Services. While we have made remarkable achievements, there is so much more work to be done to empower our female members. After all, women comprise nearly 51% of the world's population. Consequently, we need to work to achieve a similar percentage of female Lions members and representation on our board of directors. Like our male counterparts, women have always served, often doing the impossible and treading where others refuse to go, sometimes ignoring our own needs and working against the odds to improve the lives of those who need our assistance. During COVID, many clubs worked diligently to provide food, not only to the poor within our communities, but to also deliver groceries and medications to some of our neighbors who were afraid to leave their homes. Women sewed hundreds and possibly thousands of face masks. We fed our first responders, frontline workers, and other essential personnel. In addition, we found new ways to support the victims who suffered the effects of numerous floods, hurricanes, tornadoes, and fires. Here in Kansas, your alert trailers were stocked and ready to help your residents when the need arose. In addition, some of your clubs prepared diabetes emergency kits for classrooms when the children were ready to go back to school. Women add a new dimension and perspective to club, district, and multiple district activities to help us meet the ever-increasing service challenges in a world that needs Lions now more than ever. Furthermore, women tend to be more concerned with the senior members of our society, women's issues, family needs and interests, and various health challenges. It's unimaginable that here in the United States, half of our adult population cannot read a book written at an 8th grade level. And 70% of our inmates cannot read past a 4th grade level. Furthermore, many grandparents who suffer from food insecurity are raising their grandchildren and finding it extremely difficult to provide meals for their family. And often they forgo proper medical services for themselves in order to provide for their grandchildren. Still, it is often our women members who are encouraging the Reading Action Program and after-school classes. Because we prefer to do hands-on service rather than merely writing checks, we have increased the number of visible and relevant service projects to make our communities and our world a better and safer place for future generations. The late Maya Angelou said, "People will forget what you said. People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." Since we're concerned about the homeless and those who are in shelters, some of our Lions Club and Leo members make scarf trees where community members can access much needed hats, scarves, and mittens to help them stay warm during the cold winter months. A few clubs sponsor thrift stores where community members can purchase food, clothing, and household products for a drastically reduced price. In Canada, a former Lioness Club, the Zuki Harborside Club, is extremely active in their community, supporting diabetes awareness, site conservation and work with the blind, and hearing conservation for the deaf. But one of their numerous activities actually began as a Lioness project in 1993-94. Today, they collect approximately 700,000 pennies each year in Exchange for Diabetes campaign. That $7,700 in funds is used by the Charles H. Best Foundation for Diabetes Research because Charles Best was a co-founder of insulin, and these funds continue to support new ways to treat this horrible disease that affects so many individuals throughout the world. These are just some of the many outstanding examples of the work that we as women in Lions provide. Earlier, I mentioned women's membership helped to save many clubs throughout the world by preserving or improving the level of service in several communities. It's important to note that women comprise the fastest growing demographic group throughout the world. And in some areas like Turkey, female Lions outnumber the men, where they have been instrumental in working with a vast number of Syrian refugees and have provided food, water, and aid to earthquake victims and those who suffered during COVID. During the past 35 years, women have brought a new dimension to our association, concentrating on vital health, social, and environmental issues. We tend to think more creatively than our male counterparts, but we are reluctant to brag about our accomplishments, which is why President Gudrun established the New Voices Initiative and encouraged us to share our success stories and to celebrate our accomplishments. And of course, I am also extremely pleased that many of our all-male Lions clubs are slowly, but finally, now accepting their first women members. This has been a very slow process, and it's still contentious in some areas. Nevertheless, this acceptance has taken a lot of patience, perseverance, and persuasion, but the tide is turning. I'd like to tell you a story about an elderly Chinese woman who had 2 large pots, each of which hung on the ends of a pole that she carried across her shoulders. One of the pots had a crack in it, while the other pot was perfect and always delivered a full portion of water. Unfortunately, by the end of the long walks from the stream to her house, The pot that was cracked arrived only half full. This happened every day for 2 full years, with the woman bringing home only 1.5 pots full of water. The perfect pot, of course, was extremely proud of its accomplishments. But the poor, imperfect pot was ashamed of its own defect and miserable that it could only do half of what it had been made to do. After 2 years of what it perceived to be bitter failure, that broken pot spoke to the woman one day by the stream. "I'm so ashamed of myself because this crack in my side causes water to leak all the way back to your house." The old woman smiled. "Did you not notice that there are flowers growing on your side of the path, but not on the other pot's side? That's because I have always known about your flaw. So I planted flower seeds on your side of the path. And every day while we walk back, you water them. For 2 years, I have been able to pick these beautiful flowers to decorate my table. Without you being just the way you are, there would not be this beauty to grace my house." Just like that imperfect pot, each one of us has our own unique flaw, but it's the cracks and the imperfections that each of us have that make our lives together so interesting and rewarding. Successful Lions look past the imperfections to utilize everyone's strengths, to accomplish more, and to help those in need. And I'd like to share some suggestions on how we can better serve as leaders in our clubs and our community. Always set a good example and do the right thing. Provide good orientation so that our members can better understand our traditions and goals to serve the needs of our community. We must realize everyone's full potential by letting the members know what is expected of them, by sharing information through good communication, and by utilizing each of their special talents. We need to treat everyone respectfully and truly listen when our members speak and offer their suggestions. And while no one likes to fail, we must learn from our failures and mistakes and be accountable and not blame others when plans go awry. Likewise, we must remember to have fun and laugh, but to also praise others for a job well done. We must realize that everyone's time is valuable and come to meetings prepared with new ideas and a positive attitude. Always seek quality members because your club and its future are in their hands. In the past 35 years, female Lions have come a long way. In fact, during the past decade, female membership throughout the world nearly doubled in every constitutional area. And while there's still much to be done, last year, women played a 5 million people throughout the world because we want to change lives through our organizational skills, our patience, and interest in the welfare of others. Moreover, we want to empower other women through educational opportunities, health initiatives, and job training in order to reach equal parity in our organization. In addition, Lions Clubs International has been emphasizing family participation. Some clubs welcome children at their meetings. Many clubs and districts have added cub programs. These were instituted by Lions International in 2010 in an effort to attract families, to provide quality time, and to instill pride and service in our children. Some family clubs meet on Saturday morning at McDonald's or some other convenient location with inexpensive food and a play area. Leos sometimes watch the children and gain service hours during these powerful meetings. And because of these trends, families are sharing the Lions experience together, and women's membership is flourishing. As the emphasis on family-friendly Lions clubs and gender parity continues, we must continue to identify relevant service opportunities that will spark the interest of women and families. In addition, we must consider too why you became a member. Was it because your spouse or someone else invited you? Was it because you wanted to make a difference in your community? Some people join for the camaraderie. Others join because they want to run for public office or because it looks good on their resume. I joined because my 18-year-old daughter was a new Lions member. She had bridged from the Leo program to a Lion and needed one more requirement to attain the Proud Lion Award. That last requirement was to invite a potential member. And although I had helped our local club for years and had received numerous invitations to join, including from my father and husband who served as district governors, as well as my mother who was club president at the time, I felt that I didn't really have enough time to devote to Lions or to attend meetings. Yes, I did accept my daughter's invitation and very quickly experienced that aha moment by seeing the sheer joy on the faces of those we helped. Hopefully, each of you is here because of your passion to improve the lives of others. Share that enthusiasm, that gift with your relatives, friends, and coworkers. So how can we better serve, connect, and attract more women into our ranks? Besides being good role models, we need to envision the future and inspire others to share that vision. Where do you see yourselves in 3 years or 5 years? Furthermore, we must seek opportunities and find ways to change and improve our communities. Enable others to act by fostering good collaboration, by encouraging them, and by helping them to build their self-confidence. Appreciate others' contributions by acknowledging their efforts. Clearly communicate your expectations with your members. Utilize their talents and interests. And of course, celebrate your successes, regardless of whether they are monumental or relatively insignificant, because they all count. Furthermore, each of us needs to continue to learn more about our Lions organization. The world is changing, and so are Lions. Mentor others so that your committees and your club are successful. After all, we're only as strong as the weakest link. Be brave and ask for advice or help. Be open to suggestions and don't be afraid to try new things. When plans go awry, hold your head high and learn from your mistakes, because without failure, it's sometimes difficult to improve. Often we learn more from our failures than we do from our successes. We also need to set goals. Mary Kay Asher of Mary Kay Cosmetics writes daily goals in lipstick on her bathroom mirror to remind herself of what she intends to accomplish throughout the day. Imagine if everyone set just one goal, perhaps to do one act of kindness during each day. That could change the world. Respect everyone. Sometimes that might be a little challenging, but when you finally learn what is causing that person to be a little surly or difficult, you may discover a really nice person. Accept responsibility for your actions. Do your job. While it may seem to be insignificant or even boring at times, everyone's role contributes to the team's success. I remember watching my 8-year-old son during his first orchestra concert. Because he could play by ear, I noticed that he was playing the first violin part on one of the selections. So after the concert, I asked if the conductor had asked him to play the melody. And his response was, "No, but I like that part better." Needless to say, I explained to him how the second violin part might be boring by itself, but together with all of the other instrumental parts, it made the melody far more interesting. Maybe your assigned task is not exciting, but it might be essential to the success of the project. Likewise, get to know every member in your club. Be committed to your club, your committees, and yourself. Give honest compliments and provide support when people seem to be discouraged. But most importantly, be a team player. Additionally, use your imaginations. I know that all of you have many outstanding and innovative ideas. And of course, collaborate, brainstorm, form partnerships with other groups, and try something new. Accept leadership opportunities in your clubs and your district. But most importantly, believe in yourself that you will succeed. This will empower you to make even more and better decisions. Remember too that no one is perfect. We all make mistakes, but we learn from them. Similarly, showcase those women leaders in your clubs and your district to help motivate and inspire others so that they can blaze their trail also. For women to live an empowered life that's significant, we must be open to new possibilities, cooperation, education, and success. But we must also realize that our success is a collaborative, cooperative effort.
Frozen. Come back. She's frozen.
She might come back. One of my coworkers, she freezes all the time. They haven't figured out why. I think maybe it's a security thing, like a fire.
And support ourselves. As women are
Make a joke of it. We make a still and post it in the chat of our Facebook with you.
We think she can.
are embraced as live to earn extra mile to outshine your male colleagues. After all, we are up to the task, but our success depends on each of us having the courage to constantly forge ahead. As the author J.K. Rowling said, anything's possible if you've got enough nerve. I believe that we do have the nerve. Women are well-rounded, open-minded, motivated, and energized networkers who have the ability to inspire, lead, and dream the impossible. This next story by Rachel Macy Stafford, the author of Hands-Free Life, illustrates how women approach things differently. A little girl handed her mother her school report card, and although it showed many positive check marks, there was one that stood out from all the rest. "How am I doing, Mom?" asked the little girl anxiously. With her small finger, she pointed to her teacher's neatly printed words next to that lonely check mark that read, "Distracted in large groups." The mother told her daughter what was written, and the little girl smiled shyly and admitted, I do look around a lot. But before she could feel 1 ounce of shame or 1 iota of failure, that mother knelt down and looked her daughter straight in the eye around a lot. In fact, you look around Elf, crying about his skinny star dog Banjo had a runny nose. And remember that the vet said that it was a good thing that we brought you waited for him. And every time we crossed the bridge to Grandma's house, you noticed the beautiful sunset. And you know what? I don't ever want you to stop noticing things, because that is your special gift to the world. As she watched her daughter beam with the glow of acceptance, she realized that her approach had the power to change the world. Our International Lions president, Brian Sheehan from Bird Island, Minnesota, reminds us, together we can, and together we will change the world. Everyone is just waiting for someone to notice, whether it's to notice their pain, their scars, their fears, joys, accomplishments, or even their courage. But those who notice these things have been given a rare and beautiful gift. Helen Keller often said, when one door of happiness closes, another one opens. But often we look so long at that closed door that we fail to see the one that has been opened for us. As Lions, we are called to be a friend to others, to advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves, to encourage those who despair, to guide those who need our help, and to comfort those who have lost loved ones. Ashley Rice says, there are those who make things better simply by showing up. There are those who make things happen and those who make their way. There are those who make a difference and those who make us smile. There are those of wit and wisdom who through strength and courage make it through. There are those who change the world every day, just like you. Thank you for changing the world and making a difference. And thank you for inviting me to be a part of this special hybrid event. Enjoy the remainder of the weekend and have a wonderful Thanksgiving.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
Thank you so much. Can you hear me, PID Cindy? Can you hear me?
I can. Thank you, Dr. Vanya.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate these women from Kansas. They are such a hard work, and then their message is exactly what you're doing right now. You try to empower people, especially women, to continue to serve this wonderful organization. As a matter of fact, we're going to induct one new member today. Everybody round of applause for Anya. So I would like to offer you a certificate for your participation. I'll send you by mail. And also I'll put some money in our LCIF as a donation for your kindness to come here today and give this wonderful presentation to us. Thank you so much.
Did you hear all that?
Could you hear me?
No, but that's okay. Thank you.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
She already got on the screen.
She did not hear what I said?
She just said bye-bye, so she heard you.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll email her later. But let me,
When I was doing this, I was thinking that one time I went to Greece for a conference, and my best friend, one of my best friends, Dr. Crane, she was along with me. And then when I got to the hotel, you just start. I'm sorry?
Talk to the owl and she'll be able to hear you. I think, because she's getting a reverb off of your.
Off the microphone.
PID Cindy, can you hear me? Can you just send her a text, say thank you very much? You have
Yes, I
some
will.
technical.
I can hear you now.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Talk to the owl.
Yeah.
I have a certificate for you. I'll send by mail. And also, I'll send you, I'm happy to donate some LCF, to LCIF in your name for your to present this wonderful message for all of us today. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Media Past District Governor Vanya.
Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, you too.
Okay. Okay, as I was saying to you, one time I was in Greece and Athens, and then my friend and I got 1 year early there. Dr. Crane and I was there, just say, well, why don't you go to the theater? Yeah, that's a good idea. Went to the hotel and asked, how can you get the theater? Because you heard about. And the guy said, okay, it's easy. Just get a cab. You tell me whenever you want to go back. Just call me. I'll send somebody to pick you two out. Come back here to the hotel. So the theater was in the middle of all the monumentals in the center of Athens, you know, huge monuments, beautiful place. So you came, both of us is sat in there, and I noticed they have big speakers all over. I said, well, you know, people are going to start the play, and they're going to come over and start the play. Pretty soon, it started out like it here. The theater is only by speakers. No players there. Nobody was doing anything. And you look around and say, where's the actors, actress? Nobody. The whole thing was just like you did today. It's kind of what is the most interesting situation have been, because it was only speakers. So if you go to Greece, be careful. Make sure that when you go to any kind of play, there's people actually doing the play and not only speakers. So it was kind of funny. I look at each other and say, when this is going to start? And then was the whole thing outdoors with the big speakers. That's how they do there. One way they do it. So I felt just like that today with, you know, when she was talking, just hear, not see
Like
She'll
radio.
still hear you.
Oh, she's still hearing me?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
When you talk to the owl, yes.
Okay, great. So now I'd like to induct our new member. Anya, can you come over here, please? The sponsor, come on, Lovina.
Actually, go on this side.
Go around.
Here. You were so excited to induct a new member today. That was a wonderful Lovina surprise. You can tell how excited you are. So, I'd like to invite Anne Johnson at this time to really join this wonderful organization. I'm sure you have a great sponsor here. She probably told about Alba Alliance. And before I start talk about the Lions organization, I'd like to Lovina to tell a little bit about to her what kind of service you do in your Melford Lions Club.
Well, actually, she knows most of it, because a lot of it I do at school.
Yes.
Phyllis didn't hear that? No.
Because some of
diabetic
you,
kids,
uh-huh.
we did diabetic kits for all of the schools in the district, for every nurse in the district, I guess, because like the high school has 4. We sent those out. I had some of the kiddos from my school help pack it up. Do the pancake feeds. She's been there.
The light thing. Is there something about lights? Like 4th of July or something?
Oh, we had the sundown salute in Milford.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. We just painted and did the park beautification in Milford. We painted the arc, which Bev's husband bought that. Do you remember in the 80s? I want to say.
Probably about that.
Yes, and it had needed some help, and we partnered with the city, and they fixed it and put the aluminum roof, and we painted it, painted the signs, and cleaned up the park along with Milford Youth Group.
And our plastic collection.
Oh, plastic collections. We have collected enough for 5 benches. So we put 2 at the city building. We'll have 2 at the school and 1 at the soccer field in memory of Mighty Mouse, one of the children we lost here recently.
And he had cancer, so we provided food and donations.
Yes.
And there's one thing, I have a little secret. Last year, I was invited to this lady's home for Christmas, Milford Lions Club Christmas party. I tell the food was amazing. So if you join the club, make sure you go to this lady's house because she can cook like nobody else. German
She
food.
fixes our lunch at school.
Yes.
Oh, okay. So you already know that.
Yes.
And then you guys have a great club. I will enjoy. Whenever I come to Milford, I enjoy these 2 ladies here a great deal. It's a great club. Terry, think about is these people, these ladies do a lot of work. It's kind of like exactly what you do, helping the community in any way you can. And so, since you already heard from our PID, Cindy, but I'll just give a summary about this Lions organization. We start back in 1917, when Lions Club International becomes a dream of Chicago insurance man, Melvin Jones. He believed that local business clubs should expand their horizon for pure professional concerns to the betterment of their community and the world at large. Since their humble beginning, Lions Club members have volunteered their time and talents to meet needs whenever they exist. Lions is especially dedicated to serving the blind and visually impaired, a commitment made after Helen Keller. She already mentioned about Helen Keller. One of my favorite quotes about Helen Keller is, "Alone you do so little, together you do so much." And she challenged our members to become the Knights of the Blind in the crusade against darkness during the 1925 convention in Cedar Point, Ohio, USA. Our motto is "We serve." Exactly like your motto, you serve, right? And that exemplifies the dedication to helping those in need felt by Lions worldwide. Your membership in Milford Lions Club
You help us carry on this tradition of service for many years to come. So now I'd like to do the pledge. Since you have expressed a desire to affiliate with this club, the Lions Club International, I now ask you to respond to my words with simple I do or I will. Do you hereby accept membership in the Milford Lions Club, that you encourage to participation in function of the club?
I do.
Wonderful. To the best of your ability, will you abide the Lions Code of Ethics, attend meetings whenever possible, and make contribution and share all the programs of this club, District Lions Club International?
I will.
Wonderful. Now you're officially a member of the Milford Lions Club. Round of applause. That's just, this comes along with you. So, your sponsor now present to you the Lions pin. Since you don't have the official Lions pins, which you're gonna send to you, I want to put her this pin here, like a symbolic.
No, you'll get your.
You're gonna receive a member's
I
kit.
took medicine today. I'm a little wobbly.
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm just a little wobbly. I took some medicine this morning.
Oh, I'm sorry. There you go. So you're gonna receive a new members kit. Comes with certificates, the pin, and she'll give to you. Okay, the next club maybe.
Pin.
Yes.
And a savings coupon.
Yes, that's right.
25% off coupon from the Lions store.
What about the LCIF?
There will be information from, International President Ryan about LCIF.
Exactly.
All right.
And how much is the pin supposed to write a check?
Well, my speech to people who are joining, in the last year since then, you can use the pen to write your first check for $25,000 to LCIF.
I didn't see the pin, okay.
I passed.
Okay, I'm like, I couldn't tell from here that it.
That's, I'm just saying, just saying, that was always my.
Now, I'd like to ask the sponsor to respond to my words with I will, when at the end, when I say to say it, okay? That's what you're gonna do for your new member. Be a sponsoring mentor for your new lion. Make your new member feel welcome. Check. Introduce your new member to all club members. Provide your new member with information about the club, its officers, the constitution. Arrange for orientation sessions for the new member. Be ready and willing to answer any questions that might arise. Encourage the new member to discuss with you any problems and offer possible solutions. This is very important.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last one, when I finish, you say, I will. Assist the new member in developing into an outstanding lion.
I will.
Wonderful. So, fellow lions, Anya, wear this emblem with pride, for it represents your membership in the world's largest service organization. The association has a distinguished legacy of meeting needs worldwide. Let me congratulate you and welcome you to the greats of all service club organizations, the International Association Lions Club. On behalf of the club, Milford Lions Club, I will now present you with the official certificate of membership. Just hold like this. And also, the membership kit will be given to you later. And also, this is for your sponsor, like that. And the membership kit will start with a good start in your life as a lion. We're extremely proud and happy to have you as a member of the Milford Lions Club. Round of applause.
Take a picture here.
Oh, another picture, okay.
Can you hold it? Can you hold like this?
Well, I got them, but they weren't standing like that. I think they'll be done by the
But they're standing like that now. so
Irene, can you please?
It's recording.
Oh, okay. Did you get it? Because she moved.
She was standing here. and those
Could
two
take another
were
picture.
that way.
Let me see.
That goes to the newsletter, that's right.
Yeah, well, let me take another picture then. And I need your biggest lion smiles. All
All
right.
right, thank you so much. Yes, ma'am.
We have a lady on Junction City that wants to be inducted.
Okay, who is that?
Right back here.
Come over here,
Wendy.
Andy.
Yeah, well, go get another one of your
I'm just for the
pens.
pledge. Who is the
No
sponsor?
pen, no
Who is the
pen.
sponsor?
Grab another pen.
Come over here.
Yeah.
Just sit over there. You two sit over here. We're gonna take a photo all together.
Maybe, we'll see.
That's a wonderful news. Come on. Wow. Yay! Since you guys heard about everything about Lions, you heard of everything about you're gonna be a their club, Newport Lions Club?
No, Junction City Sundowners.
Oh, that's wonderful. So,
yes.
yes. So let me read the pledge for Dan. I'm not gonna read everything, so, Betty, maybe you wanna say something about that new club branch for people to know, just give a little.
Well, it's so exciting because Milford was formed by Junction City Lions in 1974, and both of us were going great for years, and then their people got sick, and then the officers died, and little by little it just dwindled. So Dianca's one that came to our first, we had 6 people who first came, and all 7 joined that night. We lost 2 or 3 of them along the way, and Dee is one of those who's our treasurer and has helped us with lots of things with the band, and we're gonna be seeing lots of things about them and the students in Midwinter Rally, which is gonna be January the 20th to the 22nd here at Junction City at the Marriott. So you'll get to see lots of things about the Junction City Sundowners and how they're involved. And you're going to get lots of projects to do, and we'll be doing a lot with Main Street. So we are happy that Junction City Sundowners has revived.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Bev. Let's give a round of applause.
You bet.
That's great. So, since you heard of everything about Lions International, about your own club, now I'm going to do the pledge. Since your name again?
Wendy.
Wendy, okay. Since you have expressed the desire to affiliate this club with the Lions Club International, I now ask you to respond to my word with simple I do or I will. First question is I do. Anyone I do? It's like you're getting married, no, I do.
Exactly.
Do you hereby accept membership in the Junction?
City Sundowners.
Yes, knowing that you are encouraged to participate in function of the club. Do the best your ability. Will you abide the Lions Code of Ethics, attend meetings whenever possible, and make contribution and share to the programs of your club, district, Lions Club International?
I will.
Perfect. Now I would like to officially say that you're a member of this wonderful club here in Junction City. Your sponsor now present to you a Lions, a pin. This is a symbol of the pin. You'll have to put in there, please.
Let's see how strong you are.
This is all improvised because actually you have a membership kit. It comes with everything. So
Yeah, I promise I won't poke you.
next time we're gonna have as a district governor, I used to carry like
She carried everything, and I carried computers and an owl. So. Oops, okay. We didn't get the penning there.
Can you pretend that you put a pin on her?
There we go.
There.
Thank you.
Now, this is for the sponsor. Now I'd like to ask you for you to respond with a simple I will. I'd like to know when the last question, you say I will. Okay. Be a sponsor and mentor for your new Lion. Make your new member feel welcome. Introduce your new member to all club members. Provide your new member with information about the club, its officers, and the Constitution. Arrange for orientation sessions for the new member. Be ready and willing to answer any questions that might arise. Encourage the new member to discuss with you any problems and offer possible solutions. This is the last one, you say at the end, I will. assist the new member in developing in the outstanding lion?
I will.
Wonderful, wonderful. So Wendy, I want you to wear this pin with pride, for each represents your membership in the world's largest service organization, an association that has a distinguished legacy of meeting needs worldwide. Let me congratulate you and welcome you to the greats of the All Service Organization, the International Association Lions Club. On behalf of the club, I would like to present to you your official certificate. This is just hold for you like this. And this is your sponsor. I'm sorry for this. It's okay. And that and the new members kit is gonna give to them. Make sure that they will get the new member kit. You're gonna make sure they get it. And then you can have a good start in your life as a Lion. We are extremely proud and happy to have you as a member of this wonderful Junction City Club. Congratulations. Come on, let's take a picture here. Now let's get a four of the, come on here, Lovina, and
I'm gonna walk around, I'm a little unsteady on my feet.
take your time.
I'm recording it.
Yes.
It's just been on.
Yes.
You have your little piece of paper that pretend,
I put it back over here.
pretend.
Our pretend paper.
Yeah. Well, one for her and one for you. Here we go.
Hold up, girls.
That's right.
Caroline. Gotta get his old lady in.
Caroline, you wanna come over here? Go there. I'll take a picture.
You wanna go back?
Okay.
I think you moved a second too fast.
Caroline, go around.
I'm coming around.
Come on back.
You don't wanna fall over the court?
No, I don't wanna drop mine.
Sure.
Come on, Bev.
Sure, why not? What the heck? You're all my people.
Yes, you are.
All your peeps.
Yes, we are all your peeps.
That's good.
I have Caroline's camera here. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you so much,
Okay, we
ladies.
wanna get a picture of everybody else too. So you wanna get a picture
the-
At
later?
the conclusion.
You want a picture of the room?
I want a picture of all of our leaders here, and our leaders
If I
here.
have the names
Oh, I
of
see.
everybody, then I can
Well,
fill
here
it
you are, as it is.
out.
You'll have to turn it off.
Perfect.
You're welcome.
So, now, Irene, do you want to give a little 5-minute break and then you're gonna do the fun fellowship?
I'd like to
I know,
do a
but
little
we're in another
presentation.
call.
Okay, sure.
Oh, darn him. It's still there. She's not giving, I'll say she.
My name is Irene Hawes, and I'm the Global Leadership Team Coordinator for the District 17A. I just wanted to say a few words. To be the best we can be as Lions, we take advantage of leadership development opportunities and to learn leadership skills. In doing so, we are better able to serve our communities. Lions provides training at the local level where you serve as an officer, as a board member, and even on mylion.org on the module called Learn. Additional training opportunities include the Great Plains Lions Leadership Institute. Recently, several Lions from our district attended this event, and some of them were going to be here today on Zoom, but were not able to attend. But I do want to recognize the women in District 17A that attended the Great Plains Lions Leadership Institute this summer. That's Anna Harris from Atchison, Kansas, Carol Schaefer from Eudora, Kansas, Charlene Langston from Topeka, Kansas, Diana Chappell from Manhattan, Kansas, Jill Kostler from Tuscott, Kansas, Kelly Thompson from Atchison, and Leanne Sparks from Tescott. So I'm very pleased to see that we have women in Lions stepping into that leadership role and taking the training to serve their communities. As women in Lions, we always want to lift each other up and encourage one another to give praise and to offer help where we can and lead by example. Never criticize in front of other people, and remember, whatever role you hold, remember it's not about the role, but about the goal, what you're trying to accomplish. The more ideas and the more people we have to help with achieving those club goals or district goals, the better we will be. Having committees and working together as Lions builds a stronger organization and a stronger individual. Women in Lions are encouraged to be leaders in Lions. As Helen Keller said, alone we can do so little, together we can do so much. Our current Lions International President's theme is Together We Can, and Together We Will. As women in Lions, we have an opportunity to grow as leaders, as mentors, and to support women in Lions and to follow the women Lions leaders that came before us. I wanted to take this opportunity. There's a little card in front of everybody on the tables. It's about an organization that in particular I think women would have an interest in learning how to support other women in our community and young women as well as young children. So if you'll take that card home with you and explore what that is about, I think it might touch your heart. We're going to do a little fun exercise in a little bit, but we're going to need to make a little room in the back for that. So we'll take a 5-minute break. You can go to the restroom and then we'll come back here and we'll have a little fun before we conclude. Thank you.
Thank you, Maureen. Thank you. Let's take